Cinema Classics is sponsored by the Gateway Film Center and is produced by John DeSando and Johnny DiLoretto. Listen to shows online at wcbe.org. I'm John DeSando.
And I'm Johnny DiLoretto.
And this is Cinema Classics.
Indeed.
You know,
we're looking forward.
Yeah,
looking to the future.
Well, you know, we have always adored directors.
Mm-hmm.
As much as we're kind of people who watch movies are obsessed by actors.
Mm-hmm.
Directors to us become the really meaningful part of this whole process.
Right.
And we're looking at, you know, ones that, you know, we have our usual favorites.
Ones to watch.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Right. Because
people to look out for.
Yeah, because we know Spielberg and Scorsese. We know all and
Bong Joon-ho.
Right. And you've got those, but we have people really heard about the ones we're going to offer them today.
Okay. So let's go ahead. You hit me with one.
All right. Regina King.
Actress turned director.
Yes.
One Night in Miami.
Oh boy, I think it's going to be a contender. It may not win either Globe or Oscar.
Okay. So see, that's an interesting thing because somebody who is in the business as one thing and then dabbling in directing, that's
yep.
They very rarely ever become such a great director that's what they solely do. Right?
Right.
So do you see her continuing in this vein?
Except for Clint Eastwood.
Well, yes. I mean,
we always have
one guy.
I know, right? And you know, you counseled me to think, John, about women as directors, and I think you were absolutely right. I was a bit neglecting them on my original list, and so I want to offer to you Patty Jenkins.
Okay.
She's Wonder Woman lady.
Yeah.
And I think that she goes nose to nose with the best action directors. In that way.
Okay.
All right.
Well.
And then just a couple of others till we get on to maybe better known. One that emerged just in the last few years, Greta Gerwig.
Oh, yeah. Greta Gerwig is great.
I hope she continues.
I feel like sometimes you just see and feel a film and a filmmaker, and I feel like what she's doing is actually, this is where her artistry lies.
Boy, I think you're right.
You know, she's a wonderful presence on screen.
She's very attractive.
A delightful
persona.
But I feel like she's found her voice as a filmmaker, and I think she's going to continue in that vein and be one of our great young directors.
Another king.
Yeah.
Just emerging for me recently when I saw Judas and the Black Messiah.
Mm-hmm.
Shaka King.
Oh, Shaka King. This guy was on my list. I was, you know, when you see a movie and you're not familiar with the director.
Yes.
And I think a lot of times, I think so many times actually, we'll see maybe decent movies or even good, really good movies. And you just, if you don't know the director, you don't even stop to ask yourself, who made this film?
Yes.
After I watched Judas and the Black Messiah, I was like, who directed it? I needed to know. Because I love the way the film moved.
Yeah.
I love the way the actors were blocked in the film.
Oh.
I love just the way the story unfolded and the way, the pacing of it. And I needed to see who this was. This guy, I feel, is probably somebody who has some other great films.
Well, to me, he captured a most difficult concept. That is showing us the inside of the Black Panther movement.
Yeah. And
while you never can get really inside, he did, just as you said, with his camera. For me, he put his camera there. We were right there along with Fred Hampton. He was, I mean, we were...
And Bill O'Neill.
And
Lakeith Stanfield.
Oh.
The way he moves in and out of the, you know, that could have been a very tricky conundrum for a young director, but he really navigates it.
Oh, yeah.
I have one.
Yeah.
A pair of directors. There's a movie currently available on Hulu right now called Save Yourselves.
Okay.
It is a critique of millennials, urbane, sophisticated millennials in Brooklyn who are addicted to their devices, who decide they're going to get off the grid for a week and go stay at a cabin and get back in touch with, you know, themselves outside of looking at their phones every 5 minutes. And while they're off the grid, an alien invasion happens. Very cutely played by Sumita Mani and John Reynolds as the couple.
Okay.
But it was written and directed by Alex Houston and Eleanor Wilson. I don't even know if they're married or if they're a couple.
Yeah.
But there's something these two bring to this, which seems like a ridiculous
Yeah.
premise. But the tone of the humor and the pacing of the film is so low-key, and kind of the humor arises naturally out of their interactions. I think we got to watch out for
Oh,
these
very
people.
good. All right, that's a tip.
Yeah.
Let me give you a better known director, but one we need to watch. Ryan Coogler.
Yeah, of course. I don't even know this guy counts as a young filmmaker.
Well, I don't know if we're going to call him young,
Okay.
but I guess we're kind of introducing him to our audience, and for me to pay attention because I've loved his films.
Right, and he has not done anything since Black Panther, right?
Yeah, no. Before that, he did Fruitvale and
Fruitvale
Creed.
Station,
And Creed.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I
We
love
had,
him.
yeah, we had our boy coming back as a trainer in Creed.
Oh, yes.
You know what I mean?
Right,
Stallone
right,
came
right,
back.
right.
So I thought he has 3 very powerful films. But you're right, Black Panther's a few years.
Yeah, and
Oh.
one of the highest grossing movies, in that Marvel
Yeah.
universe. I wonder if he's not, if that hasn't gotten into his head, and now he doesn't know what to do,
I
how
never
to
know.
follow it up.
I never
Hate
know.
that. Let me give you something.
Yes.
In that vein, handing the reins down, Brandon Cronenberg,
Oh,
right?
okay.
The great David
Sure.
Cronenberg. His kid now comes out of the gate with this movie Possessor.
Oh, I know.
Which is
You introduced me to that.
very interesting.
Nobody else is talking about it.
Yeah, I don't know. I think in
What a
the
strange
movie nerd circles,
Ooh.
people are paying attention.
Yes.
So I'd like to see him try to tackle something a little more
Yeah,
mainstream
yeah.
And see if he can lasso in a wider audience.
Look, Daddy would be proud of him on this one.
Oh, for sure.
Now, what about one that we kind of always chuckled because we couldn't quite pronounce his name, but we did. Yorgos Lanthimos.
Oh yeah, that guy.
He did. So just
He's-
as strange as his
I
name.
would actually say that he is probably now considered one of the premier directors. The Lobster,
Yeah.
Killing of a Sacred Deer,
Yeah.
Dogtooth. I think this guy has established himself alongside of, maybe he's like the more humane Denis Villeneuve. Right? I love to say that. Okay, one more, and
Yes.
then we got to wrap
All right.
up.
Okay. All right.
There's this guy, Andrew Patterson. He
Okay.
directed a little movie that came out this year called The Vast of Night.
Oh.
I
Thank
wasn't as
you.
crazy about The Vast of Night as a lot of people were.
And I was.
But what I really admired was the direction and how he took this premise, this Close Encounters type premise,
Yes.
put it in the 50s, and then managed to create an overarching sense of terror on a very low budget.
Yeah. Very good. Now, what's his name again?
Andrew Patterson.
Okay. So let's finish on Brothers. Safdie Brothers.
Oh, the Safety Brothers. Safdie
The
Brothers.
Safdie Brothers, I think.
Yeah.
Good Time and Uncut Gems.
Yeah.
Talk about really offbeat but powerful movies
Mm-hmm.
with great performances. Pattinson in one,
Yeah.
and
And guys that you can tell love the films of the 70s.
yes,
Which we could all use more of.
yeah. So those are just a few that we've introduced ourselves and our audience to, or reintroduced ourselves, but maybe introduced our audience to. But it's something. I guess maybe one of the lessons today is pay attention to who the director is and try to follow
Yeah.
the path of the director. It's very interesting to see the consistency with which somebody directs films,
Right.
or how different.
And how, I just think most people aren't paying attention to how that works. What a director brings.
Yes.
A voice, a
Yeah.
style, a vibe.
Yeah.